Okay, I finished it. I finished Haunting Adeline. It took me one day. I listen at 2 times the pace, so or like 1.7 depending on the scenes. So let's get into it. What did a guy think? Because usually it's women who read these books. What did a guy think of this book? First, the main character is a dummy. Like, I understand it's a book and it's fantasy, but it's just like, she's like, oh my god, he's so creepy and scary. And then he lights a cigarette and she's like, oh my god, he's so hot. You could cut marble on that jawline. She was like, I was so scared, but now I'm so scared and turned on. Every premise of every book that I've read so far is like, God, I hate this guy. But then he turns out to be unbelievably attractive, and they're like, well, I kind of hate him, but at the same time, there's basically a waterfall in my pants, so that's been every damn book. This wouldn't work in real life. Nobody is 6'4", basically a human weapon that saves children in his spare time, but also a stalker. As for the dirty scenes, they actually made me feel less uncomfortable than it did for like the dirty scenes in the other books I've read, because it feels more real. I know that's terrible, but it's like when you read like ACOTAR or Fourth Wing, everything's got a magical aspect to the smutty scenes. This is just realistic. Like, all of these things could happen. There's not giant wings holding up. There's not windows exploding because one of them gets so turned on their magic seeps out of their body. It's reasonable. It makes sense. And it is a little bit more of what I would be into, so there's that too. All I'm saying is that there's that. And honestly, like, the, smut scenes made the intensity of the book more intense. Like, it was almost like I understand the point of the book is to have them, but they flow better than some of the smut scenes in, like, fantasy books, because they just feel like they're, like, fantasy books with smut. This is a book where the main part of it is smut, you know what I mean? My only thing is I don't like I can't watch Criminal Minds anymore because I don't like children being messed with. That makes me uncomfortable, and that part I struggle with. And everyone says the second one is even darker, so I'm a little reserved. But now I have to read it. We're gonna try and see how it goes. Also, major spoilers if you haven't read it. They're talking about Sibby in the book, and I'm like, man, this reminds me of somebody. A pretty girl who looks like a carnival person who has like crazy eyes. Where do I see that all the time? And then I remembered. Oh yeah. Right here. That. My tattoo artist didn't even do it on purpose, and this is exactly what I picture her looking like. That's fun. Ignore the trash. That's fun. That's fun. Makes sense.